Hello. All right, I think I'm connected. Yay. Hi, everybody. So, my name is Jennifer Martinez, and I am a practitioner for QHHT. And my name on here, my business name is Open to the Universe, QHHT. If you're not familiar with QHHT, it is quantum healing hypnosis technique, and it is a method developed by Dolores Cannon. And you can go and check out our pages. You can go to dolorescannon.com, or you can go to my page, Jennifer Martinez, QHHT.com, and do a little research to know who she is. She just wrote about 19 books before she passed, but she's done about, I would almost say, 50 years of quantum healing. She definitely made sure that the rest of her life was dedicated to spreading the word, letting us know now it's time to wake up. It's time to just be aware what's going on in our lives and know that we're here for a bigger purpose. We're not just here to be. And at the same time, we are too. Like, we actually have a purpose of why we come, why we're doing this, living on planet Earth. Um, it's uh, it's really special when you start to understand that your life is just so much more than than it can be for some people. We have a lot of karma, we have a lot of vows, we have a lot of um, things in our life that are obstacles, challenges. They're actually just life lessons. Um, Karma is when we pass away, we review our lives, and so God doesn't judge us, we judge us. And I was just listening to Dolores because I love listening to her. She's just an inspirational person for me. So I love listening to her videos. I love listening to her stories. That's what made me fall in love with this, because I knew it was true. I just, my soul was just so attracted to it. Like, that's it. This is truth. Um, it's just like when people, get that connection with God, and they know His word is true, and it's the same thing. And what I love about it, okay, so let's see. So you review your life, and you don't just review your life. So when you do this, it goes with emotions, and we watch it like a movie. And then all of a sudden, maybe we had some frustration while we were here, and we really kind of took it out on someone in a horrible way. And it tends to happen because we get caught up in the illusion of life. We crush being kind of self absorbed in our own feelings at that very moment. So basically, my talk is today is that, yeah, we have karma. Yeah, we go through past lives and we review ourselves. But also, you can do that now, um, before you, before the end of your life, and actually say, okay, did I hurt someone? Was this a lesson for me? Because generally everything that happens right now in our lives is purely just lessons. We create these vows, so we get maybe get hung up on certain obstacles in our lives because we feel like it comes down to our belief system. Like, oh, I can't have um, a trip. I can't do a trip. Oh, I can't have this luscious luxury boat or car. Um, we take a lot of things from ourselves. And no, I was just listening to Dolores, and it it really made sense to me because she she came here at the time she did, and I'm so thankful for it because talk each other and we make sit in this room and we sit at this table and we make a plan with every single being that we come encounter with in our length of life, whether that be your family member or a friend or just someone you've may bumped into and things went south. My internet loves to mess up on me. Come on, little internet. But we make this beautiful little plan and we say, okay, I'm gonna go back down there and I'm gonna switch my role. I am gonna be the dad, or I'm going to be the aunt and uncle, or whatever it is, and we're gonna work this out and we're gonna release this karma. And I'm gonna give you as much love as I can, and I'm going to um, really make things right. Well, guess what? Here comes life on planet Earth. We got free will. We've got everyone else who has their little wrapped up plan in a bow, and it just doesn't work out. Everyone who is here already has been through several obstacles, dragging them down to a point of not realizing why you're even here on Earth and why you're even in a body. And we aren't the body, we're experiencing having a body. What I love about Dolores is she really went in depth with everything she learned. It so she'd do these sessions, hypnosis sessions, and it'd be on one person, and she'd be in Australia, do a whole bunch of work, come back, go to Florida, go to California, and all these other places in the states, and, the people didn't, she wouldn't tell people what she was doing. She didn't say, hey, I'm looking for this, I'm writing this book, and I need more information. She never did that, ever, not once. So people didn't know what she was looking for and, or what she already received. But while she would take these people under, she said, right at the end, after they had their complete session, it was right before she brought him up, she would get someone else. She was just explaining it. It'd be in a different voice, but I mean, it's obviously the person she took under. It's just their voice would change because it'd be an entity from the other side. So it would be a spirit guide, it would be an ET. I mean, she had a whole list of who it could be. And I might move my I might move my computer. It just keeps acting up. Okay. Anyway, so I thought that was really amazing because she would get parts of the book that need so parts of information. If you've read any of her books, they're fabulous. Like I said, there's 19 books total. That's incredible because in that 48 years, she was able to write 19 books. They're thorough. They're mind benders. I mean, they really put it out there for you and really you've really got to open the door for it. You've really got to know that there's so much more than just your life here on this planet. And here I am in the middle of the most beautifulest place in the world. I live in West Yellowstone, which is Yellowstone Valley, Yellowstone National Park. That's where when I go there, or when I see that, I know my mission now in life as I keep growing is that I am a light worker. And I've decided to continue making a holistic center. So eventually, I'm going to have a whole holistic center where people can come and get self help, self healing, and really then stop any kind of karmic connection where you came back to fix the karma, but it didn't fix. See, what's happening is, and you can see people, they're weighed down. Their shoulders are hunched over, their backs hunched over. They keep coming back to fix their karma, but they forget every single time because when we're born, we usually forget. That's free will. Um, if we knew it all, it'd be very overwhelming for our human mind to understand that we have had multiple past lives, and not all of us have. We've had multiple past lives in other places, dimensions, planets, universes. That's incredible to me. Yeah. So um, I wanted to just talk about, now you can look at your life. Yeah, that's better. Um, look at your life and know you can review your life now and then continue to live your best life. That's what I was going to say is like, you can look back and say, okay, how was my life? What happened in my life that I can get a life lesson from? Because just like Dolores said, is like, okay, we are in a school when we come here and we don't realize that it's the school of earth, limitations and emotions. And if you look at it, it's like, wow, yeah, we limit ourselves and we have tons of emotions and we have emotions on everything and we get hung up on them when really we just need to appreciate them, love on it. Um, and when you become aware of it, that's when your life starts to change. You can release this karmic connection that you feel like you've got to live your life to serve someone else, but really you're living your life to serve yourself. It's teaching yourself that you're a multidimensional being. Oh, and hi. So anyway, you're a multidimensional being. You're very powerful in a sense that we've come here to learn something. We've come here to be much more than a body, a person. We've come to learn a lesson in life, and you can look back and you can see the lessons. Have I learned something from that? Yeah, it may have been terrible in your eyes. It may have been the worst thing ever, but you have to look back and say, hey, was there something I could have taken from that? Was it just to learn how to survive that situation? When we do that, we grow. And that's basically the whole point of us even being here. We get so caught up. There's so many obstacles, and especially in the cities, especially right now. I look at it, and that's what I was just saying is like, here I am. It's very peaceful here. It's very quiet. We probably have I would say we have about 1,200 people in our town. So it's very quiet. We're very respectful to each other. Hi. And when I go to the cities, my heart just fills with emotion because I can, as a practitioner of QHHT, I've grown to the point where it's like, wow, I can really see the weight on people's shoulders. I can really see the sadness in people's face, as they're doing their normal activities. Some people are great and they can just do so great and they've managed and we're just kind of all blended. So we're at these different levels. Some of us have made it through life where we have no obstacles of a challenge or anything like that. But then there's the other ones, us who have been through it. I've been through it. I've had so many obstacles, so many challenges that kind of got in my way of making me think, oh, why am I doing this? Why am I even in this body? Why am I here? But we're actually surrounded by our guardian angels, spirit guides, higher self, God. I mean, we've got it all right there, but we have to set in a belief system that we know we already have. We're amazing beings, and that's what I want to get across. That's what Dolores came here to spread. She spreaded the word as much as she could, and I was looking at some of the people who had been here in the 80s, 90s, and now, and it makes me, oh, it's my dog. He loves to drink. And he loves to drink when I'm doing a podcast. It's the loudest gulp ever. Are you finished? Okay. And going back, he always makes me lose my train of thought. Thanks, puppy. It's just thinking about my challenges and what I had going on. And I had to make a stand to realize that I'm an old soul, that I have been here. I've done multiple lives. I've done thousands of lives. I've been here from the beginning of creation of Earth. Earth is a new planet. It's very new. And right now, everyone's on this karmic wheel and they are stuck. And so they keep coming back to fix it. Passing away, keep coming back to fix it. So as I'm doing my normal research, I'm really, really appreciating life because it goes so fast. It literally goes so fast. And so when we stop to like almost smell the roses, as you would say, like that metaphor, you have to really appreciate that you were even chosen to have a body, to come on the planet Earth. When I went under, so as a practitioner, I'm a level 2 practitioner of QHHT, which I love. I've done 35 people so far. It's amazing. Every single person is different. We all have our own story. It's beautiful. But as I go under, I can see the line. There's people, they're not people yet. They're beings of light waiting in line to come here to planet Earth. So there's this magnificent, beautiful line of beings waiting to pour in their love for our planet. And I think that's magnificent. And so then it makes me go, wow, here I am. I'm actually here. I'm actually in a body, experiencing a body. And I got so caught up in my daily life. I have kids. They're grown now, but I have kids, husband. You've got to work. You've got to, you just got to go through life. And I didn't like it so much. Yeah, I loved the fact that I was married with kids, but I didn't like the obstacles, the fighting, the nagging, those other things that kind of go along with it. And as I even grew up, I had challenges of, negative coming towards me. And I didn't realize that I was manifesting those things too as well, because I manifested them because before I came to this life, I had some karma to clean up. At least I thought. That's the other thing too, is like we think we have karma to clear up. So what happens is we get stuck on that wheel of karma. And we keep going, oh, I got to fix that. Oh, I've got to fix that. Because essentially we're pure love and light. And so we essentially love every single being that we come in contact with. Every single one, we love them so purely. But, the thing is too, is that you have to love yourself so purely. And I think that is the time now, right now is the time that we need to start loving ourselves. And along with Dolores. So her daughter, Julia, has done a practice and she's still part of the QHHT, but she's done her own book, her own research. She really is psychic and a medium, whatever you want to label them as. She created her own book. It's called Soul Speak. It's the higher self talking through the body to you, essentially. Thank you. Um, and she wrote a uh, little blurb that she got from the other side, and it's called um, it's contract, basically. So, like I was explaining, there is karma, and we keep coming back to fix it. And sometimes we can't fix it. Sometimes we have to go, you know what? There's no way we can fix that, and that's in your human form. And so she wrote this and she said, okay, so pretend you have a piece of paper in front of you and pretend that you wrote on it and you said, we tried. We really tried. You rip it up. It's pretend. So you pretend to rip it up, but you really want to, you know, exactly. That's exactly my point. But what if they could go your way? What if you learn a lesson from that experience, that obstacle? And then turn it around. See, we're powerful. It's what we want to give energy to. So, continuing on my little rip up. So, you rip it up and you say, go on your way with love, and I go on mine. We don't have to be connected any longer. We must forgive both ways, and you must mean it. So when you do that, you don't have to be caught up in the karma. You don't have to be like, okay, I have to come back. I have to fix it because I am pure love and light. I am God's created highest creation. How beautiful is that? When you know how magnificent you are, when you know that, literally every obstacle and everything comes your way so beautifully. You then learn how to manipulate the energy as far as if an obstacle comes your way, you know how to maybe even give healing to it and say, hey, okay, that's a life lesson. And what is my lesson here? And just like I said earlier, it could be just surviving the situation. Some people are abused, severely physically abused. I mean, I've been in a situation like that. But I can look back and say, okay, with forgiveness, as I look back with forgiveness. So we don't need to hold on to things that are from our past. I think that weighs us down. Most of the time when I do a session on anybody, they have a lot of weight on their shoulders. And it's generally from their past life and this current life past. We weren't able to release it, and and that can weigh us down. That could drag us out. It ages us. It basically shortens our life. We are meant to live into the hundreds. We are magnificent. Our bodies are incredible. If you tap, oh, I just learned this with Reiki. So I'm learning Reiki. I'm a level 2 practitioner with Reiki as well. And that is your energy, that's your chakras. So we have 7 main chakras in our body. And right above the heart chakra is a thymus gland. And that, if you tap on it 30 times, and that's kind of like your chest bone right above, right where it arches, kind of below your collarbone, and you tap on it 30 times, and then you put your hand, cup your hand over it. Because I learned as the energy from our hands, we don't want it, it's like water. So it could go through the fingers if the fingers are spread out. But if you cup over it, cup your fingers together and put it over that area, and just know that it's generating antibodies for any kind of virus. See, we're very cool and we're very equipped. Like we have our own antibodies. And so it does not matter what virus, what disease, if you raise your vibration and you do those little things, we're magnificent. We can get through any virus, any disease. But disease and viruses are for one thing only, life lesson. There is a lesson in each of those. I look at one of my family members and, you know, you, for me, it is my family who I can look at and say, okay, I can see that life lesson. I can see this. And even myself, and some people too. When I sit down and do a session, I generally get to know them. I want to hear what's going on in their lives. I want to hear the obstacles and the patterns they've been repeating. So whether it's been multiple marriages or, whatever it is, um, I like to listen to that and then we release it during the session. And I think right there, that's beautiful. So if you ever want a session with me, look me up, Jennifer Martinez, QHHT.com. I'd love to do a session on you. I live in West Yellowstone, Montana. I know that's far for people, but you get to go into Yellowstone National Park. You can make it a full trip. And I love that. But we are magnificent. We need to tell ourselves that more and more. It's time now that people are aware of how special we are and that we're here for life lessons, because you need to get off the wheel of karma. Your soul needs more. It can't just sit there and play video games anymore. It can't just sit there and experience hatred of all these people hating on each other. It can't take anymore. Like, it's crying for help. It's like, hey, stop it now. We've got to start spreading love and unite, and we need to have unity, and we need to care about each other. As far as, yeah, we may be different color skin and different color accents, but guess what? We're all the same inside. We all have this beautiful soul, this beautiful light inside of us. And we all have this like magnificence of one another. Like, if we really cared about ourselves, we then would care about others. I feel like there's this cry out because a lot of people have had challenges of it's held on to them, of these challenges, and it's kind of made them a little angry, and you can see that in some people, and they're vicious and they kind of act out, and it's because they're crying essentially for help. If you ask me, I've seen it. I've seen people screaming and yelling and this hatred, and I've realized that it's a life lesson for them to overcome. Take a look. Back yesterday. Oh, that's so sweet. That's incredible. Yeah. Yeah. And how did that make you feel? You know what I mean? You're deep down so hot. That's what it literally is all about. When you give, you receive. It's it's so beautiful when you realize that. Right. Exactly. It's we're here for so much more. We're here to make people feel special. But, number one, you need to make yourself feel special. You need to love on yourself and know deep down inside you love yourself. I think that's a big one. And releasing these karmic connections and saying, you know what? Okay, I understand this karmic connection. Okay, I can look back at my life and I can forgive and I can move forward and be the best me. And when you do become the best you, oh, it's flawless. It's like you knock and the door shall open, and you ask and you shall receive. It's so graceful and so beautiful and harmony, and I love that, and I appreciate that. And earlier I was talking about how much I appreciate life and being here right now. I realized, because I've been in my normal, like, go work and do my thing for the last 20 years. I kind of hit a point in my life where I'm like, okay, I want to do something that's magnificent. First, I need to learn how to love myself, because as me, I had that normal struggle. I didn't grow up with a mentor. I grew up with people around me always fighting and arguing and not having enough ever. And I wanted something different. It was like, you know what? I want to take charge of my life. I want to love myself. And when I started doing that a couple of years ago, I feel the blossom of a flower right now. like I feel like that rose. I feel like, okay, I was this little closed up little rose and now I'm like blossoming and it feels good. And I know now I can dedicate my life to helping humanity be the best they can be. I mean, that for me makes me want to cry because I feel the joy of it. The sensation of, wow, everyone else, including me, we're all magnificent and we truly love ourselves and we can truly be the best of us. And I think people need to spread that more than anything else, is to teach us how to love on ourselves and teach us how to, after we do that, love everyone else, one another. And I know there's challenges out there. I've seen the people, I've seen the heavy emotions that we carry around, which then weighs us down, which then causes us to drink more and do more drugs. And maybe we're cigarette smokers and maybe we're this. But don't ever, for 1 second, if you do like any of those, don't ever make yourself feel bad about that too. Because I did realize those things were just experiences and just life lessons. And I feel like even if we are doing those things, not to beat ourselves up so much. I feel like we do beat ourselves up so much and we don't deserve it. So we need to stop doing that and saying, okay, maybe I don't want to smoke anymore, or maybe I don't want to drink anymore, but you can take the stand once you start loving on yourself and doing affirmations every morning. And that's affirmations of like, I like a few different ones, but it's anything good that you can pour into your consciousness of telling yourself you are amazing, you are good enough, if not better. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of people don't give themselves credit. You need to give yourself credit where credit is due, you know? And I had a past life. You know, I've had sessions done on me, but I wanted to share this one past. You know, you're not going to be, oh no, I was a woman in the 1400s. It doesn't do that. You know, the higher self loves you. You're very much loved, where it's not going to show you stuff that you don't need to see. Um, and you can always wonder all day long, but you're not going to see something you don't need to see. So it may show you another significant male life, or if you're a woman, it show you another significant woman life. But for me, I actually saw me as a male. So I thought that was interesting. And it's not me, Jennifer, talking about. Soul is real. It's infinity. It lasts forever. It's eternal. Our soul never dies, ever, period. It's beautiful, it's pristine, it's always intact, it's always youthful, it's always, and uh, it was karma as far as cleaning, and I I didn't do a lot of stuff like that. You know, I was a Lakota shaman, and I had a sister that I didn't want to stay in a relationship. Interesting, and I would have never met her if I didn't move to Montana because I'm from Michigan. So I just would have never met her. But you know how beautiful our life plans are. They takes us where we need to go in life. So here I was working. I was actually working for the bank for about a while, years, and she was like, "Oh, do you want to clean the?" So they own a shop, and do you want to clean the shop? Here I am cleaning the shop, and I didn't really understand why. I didn't really like to clean, but I did, as I can clean, of course. But I did this, but then all of a sudden, QQ or QHHT came into my life, and it taught me who I was, and it taught me, oh wow, I'm an old soul that came back for a karmic connection, and that was I felt as I'm under, I said I needed to pay back my karma because as you go through this technique, so you go through a past life and then you get to the higher self. And when you get to the higher self, it's the all knowing part of you. It's the soul part. It knows everything. It's got the Akashic records. It's like, what do you need to know? Well, it said as soon as I left that I looked at that life and I thought, oh, I have to pay it back. I have to pay it back. And the only way is to serve her and to serve. And so me, I was so brand new. I literally didn't know anything, and it's really amazing now that I feel so knowledgeable about a lot of things. It took a while to learn and understand and give love to it and healing and that you know what was me. It was healing for my own soul, healing for love for my own soul. And so when I did this, I didn't do it for long. Once I realized I didn't need to serve my entire life, this life, but I just needed to do something so that I could pay back something. And I did it, and it's done. And I've taken myself out of all the karma, drama, fear, anger, vows. I I've taken away the energy of, because see, I've lived so many lives. And when we do that, those things weigh on us. And like for instance, like I was just saying, if I never became aware of who I was and what I was doing, I would have just worked for her and cleaned for her that whole time, not realizing that I didn't need to do that. Just needed to do it for a little time and then push it aside. Done. I did it. But it was really for me to know that I wasn't in a box. We took out the veil and we can't see through the veil to the other side. But once I stepped out of the box, then I realized there was no box and that I didn't need to live a life of karma, that whatever I did was plenty. Being a good friend is plenty. But it really came down to really loving myself. I looked at that past life and, you know, she didn't obviously live that long, and we don't live that long. And that's where I appreciate life so much. It's beautiful, makes me want to cry because I'm so thankful to be alive. And I want everyone to feel that way. I want them to know how special they are and how beautiful life can be. And if we don't live in an area that we can enjoy life, we literally need to think about that. Think, hey, do I want to live the rest of my life in this area? It's not uplifting. People are, a certain way. If I realized we just don't need to live that way. And I do want to eventually have a holistic center, Light Workers United. It would be about 5 different practitioners for different self healing things, such as QHHT, Reiki, acupuncture, foot zoning. So the whole point of that is putting these facilities in those places. Wheel, basically, being self-absorbed into it. Oh no! Thank you. I know my internet in the middle of nowhere is not the best. And you actually, come on, internet, Be my friend. Okay, perfect. Um, yeah, in the middle of nowhere in my car. Yeah, definitely. But I really want to be the person that builds these facilities. I don't know. There we go. That way, people even there can live their best life. I just feel like everyone's entitled. Do you know what I mean? Like we have to help people. And the thing is they'll go through life, they'll pass away. Guess what? They'll review their life and they'll be stuck on that karmic well because things happen that we haven't learned from. It's just this is the planet of school. We're learning here. We're learning lessons and we're masters of manifestation. We can manifest anything, and that's your energy. It took me a while to understand manifesting. Um, it's your energy, and it's there. This is an illusion here. The real side is where we actually really come from. But when we come here, there's so many people doing their own thing, and they're stuck in a karmic wheel. And honestly, I almost feel like that's the worst thing because they're crying out for help. Their soul wants to evolve. And that's the truth. You want to evolve. You want to be the best you. You want to go from kindergarten up to college, and you want to feel successful and you want to feel loved. And I think we just need to honestly really goes right back to it. Love ourselves. Just pour that in and just really love on ourselves. And that may be doing yoga, and that may be affirmations every day, and maybe finding a group of people that like to get together and talk about that stuff. And I kind of live where there isn't very much of that. And I know a lot of people live in areas where there isn't very much of that. They're getting other things of like, oh, use this prescription to cover up that issue. But really, deep down inside, it really literally is self love. Period. Once we learn that, we won't need doctors. That's why I want to have this facility that hooks people up. Because why go to a doctor? Why go to a psychologist for them to tell you what? To tell you to do what? You know what I mean? I don't know any that say, okay, this is what I want you to do. I want you to start loving on yourself. I want you to dress great, exercise, eat healthy. And it's not even like eat healthy, but it's like pay attention to your food. Really care about what you're eating. Um, that's a big one. I think a lot of us eat garbage. And that's right. That's exactly it. You know what's best for you. And when you start to look within, then it radiates. You radiate this beautiful energy. People want to be around you. People want to be like you. That's what you represent to other people. Yeah, we may not be able to change the world, but we can change ourselves one person at a time, one person at a time. That's how you change the world. Of course, we can't change the mass in a second. Um, because this is the planet of free will, and I understand the challenges that come along. I've had the challenges, and it's like you got to overcome those and not let them consume you. And we do. We let them consume us, and we keep coming back. And you see those people who are just hunched over, and they just have so much baggage, and they'll say, "Oh, I have arthritis in the back, or I have, scoliosis of the back," and it's oh, okay, so you got a lot of karmic baggage on your back, and it just is weighing you down, and they aren't even awake enough to know that's what's wrong. They're like, "Oh, I need a doctor. Oh, I need a psychologist." You have to stop going to other people to fix your own self. Only you can fix you. Only you know you, And I think we get caught up in that. We get caught up in, oh, I have to go to the doctors because they know. Guess what? They're practicing too. They're practicing on you. They don't know. They don't know you. I've been to doctors, and you have to tell them as much as possible because they really don't know you. And we're all so different. And that's why I love QHHT. It's such a beautiful, I wish my internet wouldn't keep acting up like that, but it's such a beautiful technique. It really releases that baggage. It really rejuvenates your beautiful, loving self. Um, it's magnificent. I was listening to one of my uplifting mentors the other day, and he said, "You are magnificent." That made me almost, it brings me to tears because it's a lot. It's magnificent, it's brilliant, it's to know that we are a multi-dimensional being. We're super pure love and light. We really are. Even every single soul on this planet, I know there's evil in some of them, I know that, but that's a human tendency, that's a human emotion, and that's the truth of it. And it all comes down to maybe when we were born and who took care of us and maybe who we lost. We create this heavy, dark entities. And they're already on the other side too, as far as they'll attach to you. And I've had several people like that, and we've released it. And now they're living their truth. They're living their truth. And that's beautiful. And that's magnificent. And now that soul, when they pass, that soul is going to be magnificent again. That carries on. Yeah, we leave the body, but guess what? It's in our cellular structure, in the soul. So we'll go to the next life and live even more magnificent. And that is truly a gift. That truly makes me want to cry because it's like, okay, yeah, we get attached to our life. Some of us do. We're so attached where we're like, no, I love this life. I love my grandma. I love my mom, and so on, or kids, and we do get attached. But that's the human part of us. When we go to the other side, we see that they're right there anyway. They're connected to us for eternity. They are always with us. We never have to fear that they're not with us. That's just a human fear tendency. We don't ever have to feel like that we're not ever going to be with them. We are. We're already with them. We're connected. It's so beautiful. It's magnificent. Yeah, if you ever want to do a session, I would love to. You can interview me or I can interview you. That'd be awesome. I actually have a really good friend that I took him. So I done a couple of sessions on him. He's magnificent too. I mean, we all are, but he is a being from obviously another planet. I was so amazed. I mean, my mind had to open to it. And it was magnificent. Anyway, I am going to interview him on Saturday, and I feel like everyone will really connect. He's younger. He's a really good person, here to help humanity evolve. And that's my job mostly. It's just I'm here to help humanity evolve, and I'm dedicating my life, the rest of my life, for it. I'm going to be the person who lives to 120, 130. I am going to be the person who does that. I'm going to spread my word of telling people to love on themselves until the day I'm physically not here, because I feel like we have so many obstacles as far as churches and religions and beliefs. I mean, you could go to those things and believe in them, but just don't make your God dysfunctional. Don't believe your God would hate you for one little thing you may have done that you feel like maybe, oh, I shouldn't have drank. Oh, I shouldn't have smoked, like I was saying earlier. Don't put human emotions into the God. So if you do have a particular belief of whatever religion it is, just know, just know in your heart that if you did want to go out and have a drink with your friends, or if you did want to have a cigarette, then you did. And know that your God loves you no matter what. Your God does not choose when he loves you and not loves you. He always loves you. You can be in the darkest of dark places, and guess what? Who's right next to you? Your spirit guides, your God, your angels, they're right there. Only you put yourself there. Only you put yourself in the dark, in a dark corner. And when you give yourself light and you know they're right there by grabbing out, reaching your hand out, I mean, you can practice it all day long and you can see the signs. Your car will talk to you. The transportation you take, you will see signs and they will be calling for you. Like, you are in the right direction. Take a right and you're in the right direction. So you know what I mean? Because our life path is not a straight road, period. We have curves and bumps and sharp curves and all of that. And um, it's we have to just know that life may be a bumpy road, but when we step back and really forgive the past and live for the now, your life really is going to go a lot smoother. Um, I know by May, I'm going to have a facility in West Yellowstone, Montana, and it will be called Lightworkers United Holistic Center, and it'll be multiple practitioners. And you can choose your form of what you want to experience. And then our goal will always be to make sure that person gets through and they are successfully living their best life. That is my goal. And it always will be until I'm not on this planet, until I'm on the other side. And there is a part of me on the other side. That's what guides myself to be that person. I feel like Dolores isn't here, and I feel like I need to continue her work, or she would never have had this thought. She would have never got this information. I feel like the time is now for us to step up, to know that it's time now for us to wake up and start loving ourselves. And I'm going to say that forever because that's just so important. So important. Yeah, I had this one. I love it. It's Reiki. And it's basically like God be in my head and in my understanding. God be in my eyes and in my looking. God be in my mouth and in my speaking. God be in my heart and in my thinking. God be in my end and in my departing. And I love that. I say it every day. It's beautiful because when I lead with the power of the source, I mean, you don't have to call it God if you don't feel that. Say the source. It's beautiful. There is no definition to God. God is almighty. He's not male or female. There's just this mightiness, and it's home, and it calls our soul, and we cry when we see how the reflection it gives to us. We see our magnificence through God, and that's powerful and loving. And I appreciate it. It's magnificent. I love it. So just remember that. That's part of my Reiki. I know it's not really QHHT, but I think that that's a beautiful message to people. And just be thankful you're alive. I want you to appreciate life on this planet. I want you to look back and say, wow, okay, I can forgive. It's a great time to be alive. We have lots of good things happening. They need our good energy. And I love that. So, yes, so come Saturday, I want to do an interview with my friend. His name's Noah. He's magnificent. Yeah. And we're just kind of going to talk about his session, see how he felt about it. It's amazing. He literally is this being who came back to repent. he had some things going on because if you've ever heard of anything from the past, as far as Atlantis and those times, he was part of creating Earth and creating good people. And he thought that their group thought that, okay, um, we'll wipe them out. You've heard it before, the Noah, where they get wiped out and Noah has to build an ark. I'm just like, this guy is fabulous. He literally goes back and he's like, oh, I wiped them out. And then guess what? I was wiped out on I had a past life. So I always think everything's connected somehow, some way. Just like I told you, we have friends that we switch roles and blah blah blah. And so I had an Atlantean life and I was there on Destruction Day, and they had caused a tidal wave and they were going to wipe us out because Atlantis towards the end would always be self-centered, corrupted, and the power on the other side didn't want that for humans. They wanted humans to be loving. They could see the good nature in humans, but for some reason we always kept going back to deceit. But now I look at it and I'm like, it's because they were trying to change us from the outside in. And the only way we work is from the inside out. And that's why I always go back to self-love, because it's really important to change the inside. You can't look in the mirror and change the image in the mirror. That's the outside in, and that's not going to work. And see, he had a group, and they're called the Anunnaki. Whoa, I had no idea. Anyway, they would wipe us out with earthquakes and volcanoes and tsunamis and all those kind of things. Well, I know he saw me because I got wiped out. And boy, I remember being so sad when I left that life. Like a sadness, like I carried a super sadness of dying early. I was a young person. I drowned, and it was crazy. And not very much a ways, like later wise, like maybe a year later, I met Noah and I did a session on him. And he's young. He's about, I would say, 15 years younger than me, 10, somewhere in there. And so I do a session, and I love doing sessions on anybody. Young people are fabulous. It doesn't matter. And when I did a session on him, he told me that, and like my soul shivered as far as, wow, I'm connected. We made it. And then we went out to dinner, family, like we all connected. He's a good friend. Take my husband out with him, and he looked at me and he had his glass, like we both had our drinks and we just got them. And he goes, I'm sorry I drowned you. Literally, I started crying because I knew, like, my soul needed it because I love that life and I carried that like baggage with me. And it was so relieving and so like, it was just beautiful. And I was really like, I really appreciated it. And my human normal self didn't understand, but my soul understood. It did. It understood. It was appreciative of it. So that was so powerful of a healing moment for me. And then he doesn't live here and he moved, he seasonal person going to school and stuff. And he called me, and that Atlantis Destruction Day was Halloween night. And it's quite amazing. I've learned that and got information through hypnosis when it was. And he just called me and he said, hey, let's do a session. And again, it brought me to this like, whoa, here it is, this magnificent being along with my magnificent self. And now we're doing something together in this life. Like I cherish those things. I connect those things. I love them. It just makes me grow. It makes me love on myself more and know that I'm worthy. And I'm worthy. And I want you guys to know you're worthy. And I want you guys to say that every day, that you're worthy to be alive, that you're blessed and that you're positive. And say it with conviction. Say, I am happy. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am secure. I am worthy. I am positive. I am blessed. I am grateful. I am beautiful. I am confident. I am courageous. When you start to put those in your daily living, you're building yourself up. You're building you. We need you. The planet needs you. I think that's really important for you to know, is that you need to heal yourself within, love on yourself. Don't tell yourself that, you messed up, not messed up, but you don't do affirmations of bad and doubt. And if you do, pay attention to that and say, wait a minute, I'm magnificent. I'm brilliant. I wouldn't be here if I wasn't, and I'm just telling you out there is that the world needs you. You are part of the puzzle. Without you, what would it even be? Do you know what I mean? The world is a different place. You see it all the time when people leave. It changes, it shifts, and it makes it a different place. And that's why I just, want everyone to know, whoever this resonates with, that it literally, the world needs you. It's so important for you to know that. And it's so important for you to love on yourself. And if you have some obstacles and health issues right now, look for a practitioner, QHHT practitioner. Right now, I don't have my facility, but I will have it. Like, that's my whole goal. I'm going to manifest it. And I'm excited about that. And I hope to have it by May. And then people can come to me all around the world, and they essentially can get that baggage released and live their best life, and then come here and rejuvenate and enjoy Yellowstone National Park and rejuvenate. There's so much beautiful energy here, so much calming energy, loving energy. It's just really important that you're here on this planet with us, and that we can evolve together, and that we can bring each other together. Yeah, there is some darkness going on, but my hope and belief and my faith is to see everyone be successful, everyone be loving. And it's more like I want them to have it within. I feel like we need to be taught that more than anything. I feel like we always put a Band-Aid on things, and really deep down inside we have this heaviness. And that's where disease comes up from. And then all of a sudden our body starts to disintegrate. So I just want you to know to work on yourselves. And if you need to, you can go to an official, it's called officialqhht.com to find a practitioner in your area. Or you can go to my page, Jennifer Martinez, qhht.com. And check out Dolores Cannon as well. She's magnificent. She has been preaching forever. Even though she's gone, her videos are viral. They're everywhere. You can find her anywhere. I also have a YouTube channel, Open to the Universe, QHHT. I have a couple of my sessions I put on there, but I still need to work on that. So there's a few things I can do. But awesome. So Saturday, I am going to do a session or a show on here, or episode, whatever you want to say. And I'm going to bring Noah on here, and it's going to be magnificent. And I hope you guys get a little, just bits and pieces, anything that resonates with you, carry it with you. definitely. But I would love to do a session on anyone who looks me up. Give me a call, email me. Again, Jennifer Martinez, QHHT. Thank you so much for joining in today. I really appreciate your time and I appreciate you. And I just hope that you get something out of it, whatever it is, self love, whatever, forgiveness, whatever your soul is looking for. And that way you can evolve. That way you can be the best you and you're not carrying all this heavy weight and you can find what your talent is. And that's the magnificent part of it. And if that's just being the best you, that's amazing. You're an example to other people then. People want to be like you. People want to dress like you. And I always learned if you look good and you take care of yourself, you feel good. And I know it's a challenge, but just know in your mind you're worthy of it. Just know it. You're worthy of life. Awesome. Great. I don't want to be on here too long. I thank you guys so much, and I hope you all have a blessed day and a blessed journey. And know you're magnificent, know you're brilliant, and know you're worthy. Okay. Thank you guys.